making our Christmas memories.
My absolute favorite Christmas tradition is opening stockings on Christmas morning. My daughter and I have always made sure that we've gotten our coffee, and the first thing we do Christmas morning is to sit down and go through our stockings. I always try to come up with some quirky, fun stocking stuffer ideas for her. So I thought I'd share with you some ideas for the traveler in your life that would make great stocking stuffers. And all of these items are under $20. In fact, most of them are under $15, so they're very budget friendly. Now, I'm lucky enough to still have the stocking that my grandmother knit for me close to 50 years ago. And this thing is definitely a treasured piece of Christmas. She also was able to knit my daughter a stocking before she passed away. And I think that's another reason why the stockings are such an important part of my Christmas traditions. Now, I do have one other Christmas tradition that we've done in the past, really not doing so much anymore since my daughter is an adult and she lives across the country. It's a little more challenging. But back in the day, I used to make sure that we all had matching pajamas, or pajamas that at least thematically went along with each other, that we opened on Christmas Eve, so we would all be wearing new pajamas on Christmas morning. You know, some of the themes were snowmen one year, penguins another, just kind of depended on what pretty much Old Navy had in their pajama department. But I will say this year, Target is on point with some of their Christmas pajamas, and I just wanted to share with you the set that I got for myself for this Christmas Eve. These are an adorable set of little gnomes that are in tents and in their little camper van. It's just a super cute pair of pajamas. I did try to find a pair for Dave, but they didn't have them at our Target, so I'm going to have to check online and see if they still have them available, and I might get him a matching pair. I'm not sure how he'll feel about that, but I think it'd be kind of cute. Hey y'all, I'm Christy the Gen X Gypsy, and welcome back. Like I said before, I am going to be going over some fantastic stocking stuffer ideas for the traveler in your life. And I'm going to have all of those items linked below. If you're interested, you can just click on that link and head on over and check those out. I am also, if those pajamas from Target are online, I will link those below as well. Now let's get started. The first two items I wasn't able to fit in my stocking, but if you have a larger stocking, or maybe it's not as stuffed as mine is at this point with the other items, then you might be able to fit these in. They're not that large. It was more that I had just run out of room in my stocking when I was putting everything in there. The very first item is something that you are probably so tired of hearing me talk about, but it is one of the top 3 items that I have found this year that I just love. It is this makeup brush travel case, which I don't use for, well, I put a couple of brushes in there, but mostly I put almost all of my items that are not liquid items that I'm carrying as toiletries into this little case. And it's great because you can unzip it, you fold it down, and it will just sit on your counter like so. I've been able to fit so much into this little thing that I can travel with a carry-on and just have my one liquids bag and this makeup bag, and that is all I need to put all of my toiletries in. It is such a great deal. It's only $10.99, so that is a fantastic stocking stuffer for anybody who travels quite a bit. And while we're talking about toiletries, the next item that I could not fit into my stocking is, this silicone bottle, refillable bottle kit. I used this for the first time on my last trip to Puerto Rico. I used the bag and a couple of the tubes. I filled up, plus I put some other stuff in here that were liquids because I was doing everything in a carry-on bag, and it worked great. These are super leak proof. They do come with 4 bottles, 2 smaller containers, 2 larger containers, 2 spray bottles, a bottle cleaner, and the ability, a little scraper thing so that you can transfer things into the little jars. I'm sure there's another word besides little scraper thing, but y'all know how I am with my vocabulary. It also comes with the labels already done up, so you can just use these and make sure they're the right size up. You can just use these to put on the bottles after you have filled them, which is what I did. This worked out fantastic. I love the way they feel. They were completely leak proof. And this comes in at only $13.99. It's fantastic for the traveler in your life that wants to be more sustainable and eco-friendly. Any way that we can help eliminate plastics from getting into our ocean is a brilliant way to travel. Highly encourage this as a gift for your traveler. And now we're actually start pulling some stuff out of the stocking. And the first item out of the stocking is this Erase Your Face face wipe. Now this does come in a pack of 4 for $9.99, but I will split these between me and my daughter this year. They are a great alternative to the disposable face wipes that you get from like Neutrogena and I'm trying to think of the other companies that make them. But you know, those makeup face wipes, it's again, you're putting more garbage into the world, and these are reusable. You can get them wet and just wipe off your makeup. You don't even really need to use a cleaner. They clean so well, but they're nice and gentle and they dry really quickly. So they make a great travel washcloth. They're a microfiber. Yeah, this is just another fantastic sustainable gift for the traveler in your life. And if you want to make a drinking game out of how many times I say the traveler in your life, go for it. Okay, so next we have an RFID wallet. Now this is actually my wallet that I've been using for, I don't know, a couple of years now. An RFID wallet is basically one that has a barrier in there that protects your information from getting stolen by somebody who has a radio frequency reader. Because if you didn't know, these strips on the backs of your credit cards can be read by a RFID reader. So you want to make sure that you get something that protects your information when you are traveling. Now I got mine at DSW like 2 or 3 years ago, but the ones I found on Amazon run about $12.99 and there are about 16 different colors that you can choose from. In fact, I'm thinking about getting a new one just to have something a little more fun and quirky than just a plain black one. This has traveled with me so much. It's nice to have something that's slim like this that you can put in your pocket or a smaller purse, or even my jogging bras that I have the pocket back there, this will fit in. It's just super convenient in addition to being a good security item to have. Now this next item is more for international travel. And I know with the new variant out there that there's questions about what international travel is going to look like over the next year, but it's still a great item to have in your travel tool arsenal, and it is a adapter, a power adapter. And this one in particular allows you for obviously the USA, Australia, the UK, pretty much everywhere that you need to have an adapter for your plugins. If you're new to travel, other countries use different ways of conducting electricity, and they don't necessarily use our 2 or 3 prong plugs. They'll use a different style plug. So this is what I used in, well, it actually says on the side of the thing. So this is what I used in Europe, is this 2 plugs here. So again, if you're not familiar, you will need something like this. So when we were in France, I used this type of plug. There's the one you would use in the UK and etc. Like I said, it's got UK, Europe, USA, and Australia on here. In addition, it also has 2 USB charging ports. So it's nice to be able to plug it in, and you'd also be able to charge your phone or other electronics off of this. And this comes in at $13.99. Next, we have the ever handy dandy headlamp. Oops. Ooh, I'm losing my stocking. Now, a headlamp isn't just for camping or hiking or backpacking, although it is obviously very useful for all of those things. I find it's useful to have the headlamp in my glove compartment in my car. just in case something happens and I need to get out and look at something on my car, or if you get stuck in a storm or a flood, or you're just stuck in your car for some reason and you don't want to run the battery down on your phone using that flashlight. It's also great. I've used it when I'm biking around town because I don't really have a headlamp on my bike, so I use this instead. Handy to have no matter where you're going. In fact, on this last trip to Puerto Rico, we went hiking and we went down into some caves, and I had packed this, but I didn't actually take it on the hike with me, and I should have, because it would have been very useful going into those bat caves. You never know when you might need an extra flashlight or headlamp, and having the headlamp and being able to be hands-free is just an added benefit. This runs $12.88, and it does come with a variety of different settings. So you can do a regular straight light, it has the blinking lights, and I believe it also has the red light. I've also heard that you can use this, and I haven't done it yet, but I will probably do this in the future. If you're hiking somewhere or out somewhere traveling to catch a sunrise or even a sunset, or it's a little bit darker, then your flash is really capable of handling taking pictures. You can use the headlamp to give you additional light for taking better pictures. So something to try out. I will actually try that in the future, and I'll let you know how it works. So this next item is something else that I have actually had for quite a while. In fact, I got mine as part of my inflatable stand-up paddleboard package, but it is extremely useful to anyone in your life that maybe doesn't have a GoPro yet, so they don't have a waterproof phone, and they want to be able to use their phone when they go out kayaking or paddleboarding or even snorkeling, playing in the waves, playing in the pool. And it's one of these little waterproof pouches, and these hold almost every size phone. And in fact, I think you can get one in the size that would hold an iPad, but that seems a little excessive. Now, I haven't used mine in quite a while. I did use it quite a bit when I first got my stand-up paddleboard, and I did not have a GoPro. But since I've gotten a GoPro, I'm using that instead of using my phone when I go and do water sports. This does work really, really well, and it's only $9.99. Now, most phones these days have a little bit of a water resistance to it, but I don't know about you, when I spend $1,200 on a phone, I don't want to test out that water resistance. I'd rather be safe than sorry. So for anybody that really likes to do a lot of water activities and they don't have a GoPro yet, this would be a great stocking stuffer. It's only $9.99. Not sure if I said that before, but it's well worth it. And the ones, they do come with a string. I've lost the string to this one. Sorry, I didn't order a brand new one for you guys because, you know, trying to save my own money. But this is a great, great gift. Ooh, what's next? Fanny Pack. If you guys haven't heard, the 80s are back with their fanny packs, although very few people are actually wearing them as a fanny pack. From what I understand and the way I've been wearing it, because I've seen all the 20-somethings wearing it this way, is wearing it as a crossbody bag like this. And you just wear it so it tucks up under your, not your elbow, tucks up under your armpit like this, so it's a little bit more safe and secure, and you've got everything pretty handy and easy to grab. I have been using this one since this summer. It is only $13.99, and it does come in a variety of colors and patterns. I liked the jungle theme with the orange and the green because those are colors that I do wear a lot. This has just been a really, really useful item that I purchased for myself. I would buy these for almost everybody in my life. I think that they're gonna hang around a little bit longer than they did back in the 80s. So even though I was not a fan of the fanny pack back in the day, I am now a fan of the fanny pack. That is really hard to say. I am a fan of the fanny pack. Say that 3 times fast. So I have a confession to make. The next item on my list I had, and I actually used a few weeks ago for my trip to the Outer Banks, but it was falling apart and I ended up donating it before I got a new one, so I don't have one here to show you, but I'll run some B-roll so you can see the one that I was using when I was in the Outer Banks. And it is a packable backpack, and I'm going to include both a packable backpack or a packable duffel bag as options for your stocking stuffer ideas. They are only like $15.99 for the backpack and $16.99 for the duffel bag. In fact, I'm probably going to order myself a duffel bag instead of the backpack because I have been using that Fanny Pack more than I was using the backpack. Everything is linked below, so you'll be able to go check them out yourself. I have loved having the backpack or just an additional bag to carry with me on my trips. And that way I have something if I have a little more stuff to bring back with me than I had when I was going, or say you're going for a longer trip and you want to be able to have a smaller bag to be able to pack some stuff in to go for your day trips, or going to another little overnight but you're coming back to wherever you were staying initially. It's just nice to have options, right? Let's see, what is next? I feel like it's Christmas morning. Ooh. So this item is something that is new to me, and it is a digital luggage scale. I have had a few times that I have ended up at the airport and my baggage is weighed over 50 pounds. And then you're having to do the whole scramble of opening up your bags and pulling things out and moving them around and just trying to deal with it in the airport, and that sucks. I've also done the method of weighing myself, taking my bag and weighing myself, and then doing the whole subtraction. But this is really inexpensive and it will save you a lot of headache if you are somebody who tends to overpack. Shoes get really, really heavy, and I like to have my options of shoes when I travel, especially if I'm checking a bag. So this is a great option to have so that you can weigh your luggage before you get to the airport, and it is only $8.99. Ooh, we're getting down to just a couple of more items in here. Let's see what's next. Ooh, this is an item that I have talked about in a couple of other videos as well, and it's this Flex Flap. This is an item that you use when you fly. You can fold it over, stick it in the seat back in front of you, and then fold this up, set your phone in it so that you can watch movies or YouTube videos or other items that you might have downloaded, or if your flight happens to have Wi-Fi that you can use. I will tell you, most of the Wi-Fi doesn't work very well on the airplanes, so I would highly encourage you to download anything that you want to watch while you are flying. But this is very handy to be able to use on the plane. It's inexpensive, it's $9.99. I think they have another version that's like $1 or $2 more that is a little bit bigger, and I think will hold an iPad as well. Although they say this can hold an iPad. Yeah, I think that would be a little tough. I've used this a few times. I have not gotten any video of me using this yet because I'm using my phone while I am using this. Maybe in the future you'll get to see me using it on a plane. But it is something I do use on a regular basis, and anybody who flies a lot would really appreciate this. And let's see, I think this might be the last item. What's in here? The Anywhere Travel Guide. This is a cute little card game that somebody came up with. I wish I had been as clever to come up with this. And it includes 75 cards for discovering the unexpected wherever your journey leads. Now, we pulled out a couple of these cards when we were in Puerto Rico with Dave, my boyfriend, and Alex, my daughter. And my poor introverted daughter was kind of like,
this is a game for extroverts.
So, take that as a grain of salt. But let's see, I'll read you one of the cards. Basically, this is a game that you can play. You pull a card wherever you're at, wherever you're traveling. If you're in Paris, or if you're in Nicaragua, or if you're in LA, you pull one of the cards and then you're supposed to do what's on the card. I think it'd be a fun game whether you're traveling solo or traveling with somebody else. So let's see, this one says, find a queue. Okay, I'm going to guess that it was somebody who is British who wrote these up. Find a queue and stand in it until you get to the end of it. Explore the purpose of this line. Now that would definitely have to be for someone who has some patience. I'm not sure I would stand in a queue. Let's see if there's another one that has a good activity. I like this one. This says, look behind you, look above you, look underneath you. These are your surroundings. I'm a big proponent for always being aware of what is going on around you. So this would be a good card just to remind you that it's always good to be aware of your surroundings, no matter where you are. And don't get caught up on being on your phone or thinking about what the next picture you're going to take, because I know those are things that I get caught up in too. I saw this and I thought it was a fun little activity that for anybody who travels recreationally, probably business travelers aren't going to really care about this very much, but anybody who's traveling recreationally and trying to become more adventuresome themselves, this would be a great game to help give you some ideas of how to make your travels more interesting or more adventurous, or just a reminder to focus on what is going on around you. And this is only $10.75. Now, if you're looking for some gifts in that $20 to $50 range, check out this video next. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.